Okay, we're going to unveil this. Now, 50 years ago, for those that don't know, well, since you're here, you probably do know, there were some citizens of Tallapoosa that made a time capsule. Now, this time capsule sat at Commercial Bank for how many decades? Anybody know? Okay, nobody knows. Okay. Yes. And then, eventually, it came to our museum. Now, we want to thank everyone that came tonight. My name is Susan, in case I didn't meet you at the door. We also want to thank the generous donation that we received that allowed, they're still coming in, yeah. To the museum that allowed 100 people free to come in tonight. It was a last minute donation. So thank y'all so much. Okay. And our donations are very important because why? Because that's how we make new exhibits. That's how we grow. And I think the people that are here tonight, y'all want our museum to grow. Yes. So while you are here, if you haven't already, please check out our new exhibits in the back, particularly our jail cell. We worked so hard on it. It's awesome. How many people checked it out? All right, 10? Yeah, give it a 10. Okay. I also want to brag a little bit on more hard work. We won the float. We're the #1 float for the second year in a row.
Oh, wow.
So now we got a little bit of that, under our belts, right? So we've worked very hard to bring those kind of things to Tallapoosa. So 50 years ago, when they made this time capsule, 2 people were designated to be the ones that opened it. Unfortunately, one of them has passed, and that was Charles Skaggs. The other one was Michael Fields, and your father was the pastor at First Baptist Church. So Michael is here with us tonight. Yay, Michael. And Michael is the one who is going to open it up. Because that's what the directions say right here. So. I'm following the directions. All right. So without further ado, and if you want to say something about that whole experience, how old you were, what you remember, please share with us. Because I wasn't there.
Okay.
I was little, but I was there. All right.
Yes, okay. You were little. You were around town.
Yeah. Mr. Michael Fields. All right. You're so welcome.
I'll try and talk loud, Jackie. Thank you. It's always good to have you for instruction, which I've had much of my life. My name is Michael Fields. My father was pastor at First Baptist Church here in Tallapoosa. We moved here when I was 6, and unfortunately moved to Waycross when I was 11. So shortly in the March after the July 4th celebration, we moved south. Which was a great place to live, but I cried for months when I was at Tallapoosa because it was a town. I was telling my wife as we drove in, where I went to elementary school, how as a 7-year-old I could walk home and stop by the Hildebrand's house and wait on my sister to get off the bus. And my daughter was listening, and she said, "Wait, you walk by yourself?" And I said, "Sure." And she said, "You didn't have anybody with you?" And I said, "No." I said, "I didn't have to worry about anything." So it was, what a great place to be a little boy, and I really enjoyed it. Made some very dear friends that are still great friends today. Many of you may know Grant Brown. I talk with him on a regular basis. Brian Walker, I was hoping to be here today. I guess he's got to represent the whole county now. So, and of course, Cherry and Robin. So, just a wonderful place. As far as recollections, I'd like to tell you I could remember everything that's in here, but I can't. I was 10.
You were 10 years old?
I was 10 years old.
Wow.
And it is a habit of my father occasionally he was on the committee. I think he and Dr. Skaggs chaired the committee for the Bicentennial celebration, which was a big event and was huge, much as what you've had today. The town does a great job of celebrating our country's birth, and always has, and it did that year. We had a parade. I remember I had a little one of the triangle hats that I'd bought in Williamsburg and rode in the convertible with Sherry, who was dressed like a colonial lady. And then I talked to my sister earlier this week, who was also present, Lee Ellen, and we both remembered that the ceremony was just outside of where the elementary school is, and at the very end, I don't know what it's called now, it's where I went to 4th grade, under a flagpole. And so the items we put in then, I don't remember any of them. I'm sure there's a newspaper in here. And then, I remembered it being buried, but maybe it wasn't. Again, 50 years ago, I don't have much recollection. I have a hard time recalling what I ate for dinner now. But, yeah, it's just a regular thing. But I'm also tickled to see my former Sunday school teacher, Don Schmidt. It's great to see him. Have relayed many stories that he has told over the years, and I've retold them when I taught Sunday school. Relayed them with my children. And Mary Tollison had tried to teach me how to draw, and it just didn't work. But it was the best effort, and I'm glad that y'all are still very active in the community. And if you notice, there is a time frame in here between 1976 and 2026. And since I left in 1977 and have missed all of that time frame, I don't really think it's appropriate for me to open this alone. So I'd like to call 2 friends that have been here, lifelong friends who've been here, Sherry. You didn't expect this, and Robin. You hand the phone to somebody else.
We'll have to have some muscle to get there.
Yeah, we'll get some muscle. Yeah, I used to have muscle, but not anymore.
Jimmy knows how.
Jimmy the muscle?
He knows how to get it open.
So you get to come and pull things out.
All that money, y'all. $100 bills.
Are those bricks of gold?
That's got your name on it.
This has my name on it, Mr. Michael Fields. So let's see
That's
what
got
this
money in
is.
it. You gotta sweat it. You gotta suck it.
Was it a bank? There's a little bit of a smell to this. And speaking of the hat, yeah, there's a picture of me on that day, along with my sister. And here's another one I said I was writing. Are you in there too? No, that's somebody else writing in the celebration. You see, there was a lot of people dressing up. You'll be able to see these. I'll lay them out.
You want to put this on the table, Susan?
Yes, I have neighbor in. Just put it on the table.
So the one on the left is my sister, who lives in Tacoma now, as does my mother.
Oh, baby.
And I'm real curious, you don't have a letter?
I don't get a letter. My name's not on
What a baby.
Um, so this is from my father. Oh God. So there may be tears. My father passed away in 2021. 50 years ago, an event took place in Tallapoosa, which today you have the honor of recalling. At the time, you were a young boy of 10. One of the delights of your life was to dress in colonial costumes and be part of America's bicentennial celebration. It was a grand occasion for the then small town of 3,000 souls. Cleanup projects, special services, parades, and genuine community participation marked the spirit of the festive occasion. Automobile bumper stickers, tags. Remember the tags?
Yeah.
I still have one. Tags and lapel buttons were used as sales items to finance varied projects. Donations from individuals and companies, as well as money fundraising projects, preceded the civic organizations and enabled the Bicentennial Committee to carry out its assignments without any indebtedness. Never in my life, up to that time, had I been so aware of the willingness and excitement of involvement in community celebration. On July 3rd, 1976 was a fashion show directed by your mother, in which you and Lee Ellen, I have no recollection of this, won first prizes for a dress. So, yeah, we won. There we are. We won. You rode with me in the lead car along with Reverend S.T. Skaggs, Cherry Jones, and then Mayor Alta Dryden. More than 5,000 people lined the parade's route. It was quite an occasion. Sunday, July the 4th, rain poured. A joint community worship service and picnic was held at First Baptist Church. With the conclusion of the picnic and the main events of the bicentennial celebration were over. This letter, along with all other mementos of the occasion, were placed in the vault on December the 4th, 1976. What was life like? Basically, it was quite good. Gerald Ford was president, and the first never elected by the people. Inflation was extremely high, but basically the people had learned to cope and get by. There was peace in the world, shaky peace, but peace nonetheless. It was a time of renewal in the hearts of men. The Nixon betrayal had left distrust in the hearts, and the recollection of its foundation principles from which we sprung called us to renewed hope and faith. It was a time of spiritual awakening in the land. Not everyone made a dash for the nearest church, but the spiritual values which support life were rediscovered for a while, and we drank from the rediscovered springs like men dying of thirst. My father wrote long letters, so bear with me. It was a time of massive scientific reevaluation. For years, we have been riding the crest of a wave of scientific breakthroughs in so many areas of life. By 1976, we were wondering about this God of science, which held out the promise of utopia. That ain't gone away. It could never get us there. His promises were questionable, and his theories were standing at the feet of clay. Suddenly, we began to realize that science could not save us. We needed something more sure, more stable. We needed something eternal. So scientism became somewhat suspect, unable to fill our faltering spiritual strength with the potency to revive it. Many rejected scientism as being destructive, while others held it as a tool in man's arsenal that keeps him on the winning side. Neither was altogether right. It was a time of deep personal love for me, a time of commitment and involvement. There was a renewal of love for my family, you, Lee Ellen, and your mother, but there was also a renewal of commitment to my calling, which I love very much, to the people I served and the church through which I served. It was a time to dream big, new dreams, and see fine visions of what yet might come as we journey. For you, it was a time to remember, to absorb, to dream and plan. It was a time to learn the worth of the commitment and patriotism to your nation, your family, your God. I hope that the intervening years since that occasion have not diminished your love for your family, your nation, or your God. I hope that you have always, and will continue to remain a valiant defender of what is high and noble and true in your land. And I hope that you will ever stand strong in faith, as did that little lad whom I knew well and loved very much on that day of celebration in the American Bicentennial observance of 1976. From wherever I am now, to you, I send my love and best wishes.
Okay, this one goes to Charles Tag, so I don't know what to do with that.
I think Robin already.
It's a big one. This is addressed to Charles Skaggs, to be opened July 4th, 2026, by Charles Skaggs and for descendant. some old newspaper. Some very old newspapers with a Holcomb Super Thrift, if y'all remember that store.
So it's from 1976.
1976, yes. Wieners were 59 cents a pack.
Oh, wow. What was the headlines on the?
These are some of the little things Michael was talking about.
Rebel Band's full schedule includes a trip to South Carolina.
These are some of his dad's business card, Pastor Emeritus, First Baptist Church. Oh, these are some, there's a bulletin here from the cantata at the church, which was on December 5th, 1976. And dear Mr. Johnson, attaches a summary of our bicentennial activities to be published in your final report. Thank you for reminding us. Yours very truly, S.T. Skaggs, Chairman. Of course, done on Miss Collison's beautiful paper. That's her paper. And here's an article with the time capsule dedication. Wow. They did put it on the front page, I guess, the time capsule dedication. And here's some of those tags.
Oh, yeah.
More of those, okay.
Yeah.
Put those on our bicycle.
Yeah.
Miss Hollison's already.
It's closed.
Yeah, to be open. Right there. These are the tags that we all have now.
This was on about every car.
And bicycle.
On bicycle, yeah.
This is a scenes from the play, The History of the U.S. Flag. It was the Haralson County Salutes of America, July 2nd, 1976. And
Spirit of Sarah sitting in that.
there's a picture. There's Mr. Skaggs.
Gordon Heath. Is that Miss Collison? There's your dad. There's Henry. There's your mom. Johnson. Mr. Johnson. Well, here's the ones that were in. Oh, it's the ones on the back.
And this is an article. It says First Baptist Church pastor received doctorate at seminary. Dr. Henry Fields received his doctorate from the Southern Baptist Theological Seminary, December 19th.
About that.
Wow. There it is. Here's some narcotics and money taken in drugstore burglary. A little bit of, murder mystery. There's his picture too.
Yeah.
Okay. Here you get her out of it. Okay, here's some calendars. 1976. No. They're car. What do you call these things? Dealership.
Yeah, so this is when you went into a dealership, this is what you got.
This is the Corvette, the 76 Corvette.
Here's the Nova.
Wow.
No, but
Here's another one. That's the same one. Yeah. Nova.
That's a police car, it's Nova. Here's the Impala. I think some people still drive this one.
Yeah, those are in there. What are those?
And remember, guys, when they're done, you can come by and look at all this stuff up close.
Tallapoosa
All the
Bicentennial
cars that were
Celebration.
popular then.
1776 Fashion Parade. Is that the same thing?
yeah.
Michael had those things here. Dresses. There it is.
A bunch of bags of these flyers.
I'm sorry, I'm just. Okay.
We got some thread. The American Thread operating in town had a plant, and these are some spools that they had made.
Oh my, this is a dress worn by the ladies in the community choir for the performance on July 4th, 1976. This dress made and worn by Louise Heath, member of the choir. It's a dress that was worn by the ladies of the community choir for the performance on July 4th, 1976.
This belongs to Louise Heath.
America, square Venus.
What is that?
Upside down. Backwards. Yeah, well, this girl's 50 years old, right? There we go. Yeah, we got a Dudley softball. Yeah, I have no idea what that means other than just play softball.
Play softball.
Probably made it associated rubber made softball.
So yeah, it's a product, local product made associated rubber. They had them playing right down in the middle of town. I remember smelling it quite frequently. Yeah, whenever they would start making rubber, you knew it. Anybody got a knife?
Got some duct tape.
There we go. We got duct tape. We don't have a knife. We've got a ledger for a statement of the commercial bank. They had $102,000 in cash.
I could hear somebody breathing.
Total cash from banks was $566,000. Deposits $4.6 million.
Oh, wow.
And their operating income was $234 million. And $2.9 million in loans. So if anybody wants to know the rest of it.
No, that's his sister.
Okay. I've already done my turn. This is the letter. It's a history of West Harrelson School. It opened in 1956. It looks like it details it was written by Paul Dunn, who was the principal there. And if you're ever spanked by him, I can attest that it hurt. Back when you still got spanked, you've been there, huh? Okay, yeah, you know what it feels like. Yeah, more than once? Oh, yeah. Well, we have three. We need two hands. Where's one? Okay, good.
I don't know that it's worth it.
Officers of the Tallapoosa Lodge, 126 F&AM. Chartered November the 1st, 1888. It's got 76 officers listed. I'll read them real quick in case y'all know them. Jim Walker, Russell Gilbert, Clarence Newborn, Bobby McSwain, Bobby Walton. There's your uncle, Elville John T. Smith, James Shell, Michael Smith, Vernon Birdshaw, James L. Jones, and
James Earl
Henry
Jones.
Ayers. It also has their services, from the WM down to the treasurer, secretary, and chaplain.
This looks like a program to some kind of ball they had. First and foremost in restoring First Federal. The one and a two. Wrapped it up in duct tape, so I'm not sure what that's all about.
and a book that's probably on here in the museum, The First 100 Years of Tallapoosa, Georgia, the Yankee City. So I think that you were involved in publishing that, weren't you, Jackie? Probably so, yeah.
Here's a book about the bicentennial, and it has pictures in here of Reverend Skaggs and his wife. And this is Charles. And I'm not sure, but here's a picture of the bicentennial staff, Henry Fields and Mr. Skaggs. But this is a program of that celebration. Oh, there's another letter. It's to Charles. Sealed for 50 years. Faith, hope, and love. That goes to family. The whole thing is together.
This is Associated Rubber. Some rubber company was in town, one of the products that they made. And just in softball, Gordon Heath was the president, and his business cards attached to the back.
Here's a picture of, it looks like some police maybe. I'm not seeing anybody now. Well, anyway.
You need to look at this one.
And a plaque from the Tallapoosa Business Association organized January 25th, 1960. The names of the businesses that were a part of it. Also the officers, which included Vice President Don Smith.
Oh, wow.
Here's a cookbook from the Women's Association, one of the little cookbooks with all the recipes.
And here's the 1776 fashion parade. The fashion show committee was Betty Fields, Betty Jo Newman, Phoebe Maynard, Nancy Johnson, Kathy Tollison, Nancy Johnson, Miss, Carl Hudgens, and Pam Smith. This was the fashion show they had for the, I'm assuming the bicentennial. And this is the program for the Tallapoosa Community Bicentennial Worship Service for that Sunday.
And we have more bicentennial celebration books that I'm sure will be put out for folks to take a look at.
This is a Tallapoosa Centennial, which was September 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, 1960. That's a picture of the Olympia Springs Hotel.
That's the one I remember that your mother was a part of.
Yeah. She's in here. This one goes. There's Jackie Jones. Right there. Yeah.
And again, you know, if you didn't have a license plate, you use a bumper sticker.
And another 1776 fashion parade winner. And here is another ribbon for, which it said we wanted.
I would say it was Michael.
I would say it was Michael. Of course, they,
Congratulations.
he was all dressed up.
You're dressed up.
So I have a question. Is this like when they dressed up like people from 1776?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, it's so funny. I love it. There you go.
This is a History of Tallapoosa Garden Club by Miss G.E. Crabtree, November 1976. And this is the Tallapoosa Garden Club recipe book.
There's a copy of the bicentennial list of events and projects.
And this is a program of the history. They did a salute to the flag, and they had a, I guess they had a play.
They did. Yeah, the play had Mayor Dryden, Senator Nathan Dean, and Harold Murphy was in it, and also Speaker Tom Murphy, and they wore robes and they had on wool wigs. You can imagine how much fun that was in that kind of heat. But I remember that.
It's a program. We're going to start another one this year. We may not do it right away, but by the end of the year, we're going to enclose another one for.
You can use the same box.
And we're gonna ask
I don't know
for
about that.
input, like what would you like to see? I've done it a little bit on Facebook. What would you like to see in the next 50 years when we open a time capsule? Because like she said, we're adding more.
Here is a Rebel 1976 yearbook. High school. 76.
1776.
That's cool right there.
I know, I'm getting in a minute. I don't want to make any awkward bumps, you know what I mean?
Plan of action of the Tallapoosa JC.
That's what this is, the Tallapoosa JC.
So they went along with the JC.
Plan of action, yeah.
The women.
Margaret Newborn, president. Proposed internal projects for 1976. Christmas parties. Speak Up, Spoke It, and Spark It. All different kind of things.
And this is the JC's president was Larry Addison. Vice President Guy Barrett, Secretary David Golden, Director George Lynch, Director Barry Dryden, Director Wade Waldrop, Director Joel Mabry, Treasurer Tony Newman, and the Vice President Barry King. And past president was Jimmy Thrower. Where did he go?
Jimmy?
Probably hiding over there. That's something to look through.
He keeps
really.
disappearing.
Got some of the stationery that was donated from Commercial Bank, Hubbard Sales Company in Bremen, and Darcy Manufacturing.
This is a copy of list of bicentennial events and projects, May the 14th, 1976.
A lot of these
It's on this. I love this paper, Miss Hollison.
Yeah, we got some more of the stationery.
You still have some of that? Oh, she does.
And also, schedule of events, beginning Friday, July the 2nd. A pageant, there was a fashion show and judging on Saturday, July the 3rd. There was an art show later that day, a parade that day on July the 4th, which fell on a Sunday. They had a community service followed by an art show and a street tour of homes.
World's smallest mirror.
That's from the Southern Can Company. I guess that's things they used to give out. Oh, okay. That's the tour of homes. Here's the
He's coming.
all right.
That's cool.
Here's a candidate for superintendent of Haralson County Schools, Madison M. Sanders. That's been a minute.
We've got a list of the Tallapoosa Elementary School staff and faculty, CJ Charlie Brown.
Here's another picture of Michael and Lee Ellen, if y'all missed the first one.
Oh, yeah, that's well.
What is that?
Michael and Lee
They
Ellen.
made the newspaper.
They made the front page. Front page.
And yeah, here's the I was speaking earlier about the gentlemen, the representatives that were at the play, and here they are on the front page of the newspaper. Again, they all looked exceedingly happy. Actually, the speaker does, and so they were all in their 1776 regalia.
And I guess this is the last thing, is Quality Furniture in Tallapoosa. This is one of their brochures, I guess.
3-day celebration.
Yeah.
What women should know about Social Security. Your Social Security, so go figure.
Stay informed.
And that is it. What is that?
Just a little thing.
Oh, quality furniture at the school.
All right.
The old quality furniture.
There you go.
Well, some booklet.